evening and welcome to BizTech's AHA, the coaching show. Now, in this episode, we unravel the power of the three-stage model with our two guests here today, Nancy Lee, who is an ICF mentor coach and facilitator and program manager for the Corporate Coach Academy. And joining her is Farha Uzaimi, who is the lead trainer, HRD Corp TTT, who will help to reshape your coaching approach by introducing the three-stage disruptive coaching model. Now, to tell us more, welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you, Brian. We are delighted to be here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And Farha, thank you as well for coming on.
Yes, thank you. This is going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Now, for a start, let's give the audience a quick overview of your backgrounds, and I'm going to start with Nancy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Nancy Lee. Brian has already introduced me just now. So I am a program manager, a mentor coach, and also a coach facilitator with Corporate Coach Academy. It is an ICF coaching school, and my passion is in multiplying coaches so that they will be able to develop coaching skills and also their capacity as a coach, and they will be able to go out there into the different industries that they are in to make changes in their workplace and also in their families. My background is from higher education. I was a lecturer in Taylor's University, and what got me into coaching was that the education has also shifted in the early 2000s, and I felt like I needed to learn a new way of communicating with the students so that they will be able to learn and to perform their best. So that's a little bit about me.
And again, we will talk about multiplication of coaches via the three-stage model as well. And now, Farha, could you give us an overview of yourself and your journey as a coach?
All right. Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you very much, Nancy. Nancy is my mentor coach. You know, I've got to thank Nancy. I've got to thank Dr. Michael here as well. I'm Farha Uzaimi. I've been a lead trainer for HRD Corp the trainer program. I've been doing training. I've been teaching special needs and preschool, early childhood, and even adults and young adults. What prompted me to take up coaching is actually out of curiosity. And when I took it up, there's no turning back. It's been mind-blowing. It's been very helpful, and it has seriously, literally given me wings. Thank you. It's been an amazing ride.
Fantastic. Now, okay, without further ado, I think we're going to hand the baton over to Nancy. And Nancy, give us an overview of the three-stage model and what it's all about and how it can impact us.
Right. So Brian, I thought that many people actually today know what is coaching. We know like why coaching is important, but how do you carry out a coaching conversation? And what does a coaching conversation looks like, and how is it different from other conversation? So we thought that it would be good to share how a coaching conversation looks like. And in Corporate Coach Academy, we have got this model that has been used for the past 20 years and is effectively used in meetings, in talking just to anybody, even to your family members. So this model is called the three-stage model. It was created by Dr. Michael here. And up to today, you can use it for professional coaching and even at the mastery level.
And that's really interesting, is that because people don't realize that those skills are transferable. A lot of the coaching skills that you learn are transferable not only to within your professional realm, but also to the personal realm, not only when dealing with adults, but potentially also dealing with your children.
Yeah, exactly, Brian. And that was one of the reasons I took up coaching as well. But when my children were at the teenage years, there was one point that they said, Mom, you are not listening, or you never listen. So that actually woke me up and said that, yeah, perhaps I need to learn a new way of communicating, especially with the younger generation. So that prompted me to take up coaching.
Fantastic. So now, give us this 101 on the three-stage model. What's it all about?
Yeah, okay. I think I will show the slide in order to show the model. Okay, so the three-stage model, there are three stages. The first stage is C. So this C is not just a visual C, but it is more like seeing in your mind to gain that awareness. So the purpose is to gain awareness. The second stage is say, and the purpose is to get the commitment after the person has gained awareness. And the third stage is do. The do is to take action. It's not good enough just to have that awareness and commitment. It must result in action. Now, under this model, there are actually 10 milestones, we call it. They all start with the letter C, so it's very easy to remember. But nonetheless, you don't have to memorize it. When you use it often, it becomes like so natural. So we say that coaching is a structured conversation. So in order for the conversation to be focused, we follow this milestone. The first is connect. When you see someone, right? Questions like, how are you? What brings you here? And then after that, we move into the second milestone, that is contract. What is a goal that you would like to achieve in this session? Or what would you like to discuss? And then after that is clarify. Clarify is to understand a little bit more about the goal by asking questions like, so what is the situation? Like, why is this important for you? So we have to clarify the issue or the goal. And after that, that brings us to the challenge. So the challenge part, the coach will then identify what is the self-limiting belief through the story, or what is the mindset that the coachee may be having. And the purpose of challenge is to shift the mindset or to broaden the perspective in order to raise the self-awareness of the coachee.
Now, okay, Nancy, can I ask you at this point of time then, what are some of the challenges that coaches face at this stage in helping to let the coachee see better?
Right. Okay. So one of the challenge is that some coachee may come with a few frames, as we call it. So these frames are exactly like the picture frame, that we are just caught in our own belief, our own values, our own mindset. And sometimes it's very difficult to take the person out of that frame. So there could be a few frames and it will be a process. So normally for coaches, we try to identify which one is the major frame to work on. Sometimes we call it as the mother frame.
Okay, interesting. And then we move on to the say stage, right?
Yes, and if I can just add one more word, like in order to raise the self-awareness, so there are also like three categories. One is removing of the blind spot that I mentioned on the self-limiting belief. The second one could be to help the coachee to spot opportunities, to see what is the opportunity there. Like for example, even when the economy is down, we help them to see the positive of it. Like what is good about this situation? Yeah, even though the economy is down, like how can you still sell? And the third one is to elevate them to a higher purpose in life. Then after that, we move on to the fifth milestone, that is co-create. This one is to work on an action plan or a game plan to help the coachee succeed. Now, after you come up with the goal plan, then we need to get the commitment. This is where the ownership and the accountability has to come in. Yeah, and as we say, you know, accountability is actually like the glue between commitment and results. After commitment, then we move the coachee to change. This is to install the intrinsic and extrinsic behavior. Questions like, when will you do it? What exactly will you do? What will ensure that you do it? Now, if you are talking about in the workplace, a conversation between the boss and just say the staff, even if you end at commit, it is good enough. You get the person's commitment. Yeah. But if you can move forward, it will be better to change and continue. So continue is a very important milestone because many times we may be committed, we have the action plan, but because of certain the self-limiting belief may come back, or there are some demotivators that will hold us back. So
And also,
continue
Nancy,
is,
and if I could jump in at this stage, continue is sometimes a big thing because, and just give me a second. Continue is a big thing because a lot of times people don't have the sustainability. And
that's right. Yeah.
let me just exit from this for a little while. I'll be just right back. But please continue.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. I think as what Brian mentioned just now, we tend to fall back into the old behavior. This is where you find that all the milestone, the dark blue, sometimes it may take months in order, sometimes the first person will fall back and then we have to work through them again from the co-create, the change and the continue. And then after that, the 9 milestone is to check. This is to check on the progress. So question will be like, how is your progress? Are you happy with what you have done? Or how can you do it differently? And then after that, we can actually close the conversation. So closing the conversation is to find out the value and the success of the coaching session. Like what did you discover about yourself? What have you learned from this session? And what is something that you want to remember always?
And Nancy, is this done traditionally? This model, is this run through a single session or multiple session or over a period of time? What are the typical ways that this model is executed?
Very good question, Brian. So it all depends on the issue that the coachee brings. If it is a simple issue, we call it like a casual coaching conversation, all the 10 milestones can be covered. But if it is something like a professional issue, like I want to get a promotion in 2 years. So for that professional issue, perhaps it may take like 10 sessions. And maybe the first 2 or 3 sessions, we could be just going on the contract and clarify. And typically, the last stage on the do for a professional issue, it might take like a few sessions in order to work through the action plan to check on the progress with the coachee.
Interesting. That's fascinating. Now, Nancy, I think for the benefit of everyone, this is the theory. Let's now take a look and see what a demo session of what looks like, so that people like me can understand, okay, this is really how you execute.
Yes, that will be very good.
So I'm going to exit this for now, and I'm going to come back really after you finish your demo coaching session.
Thanks, Brian. Right, everyone. Hi. So I'm the coach here, and Farha is my coachee. So we will have a simple coaching conversation. I don't know what is the issue that Farha is bringing, but we will try to demonstrate the 3-stage model. Hi, Farha. How are you?
I'm great, Coach. What about you?
Yes, I'm good as well, Farha. Thank you. What would you like to discuss today that will make a difference for you?
Well, I'd like to discuss, this is something that's been going on in my mind. Should I incorporate coaching into my training or just do these two separately?
Okay, can I understand, Farha, what do you mean by incorporate coaching into your training?
Well, I've been doing training for quite a while, especially to corporate clients, and I've always wondered if I should incorporate coaching into my training. I'm really curious about doing this because I've just completed my coaching program and I am dying to try it out.
Wow, you said dying to try it out.
Yeah.
So how does dying to try it out looks like for you?
Well, dying exciting and dying scared. Should I try it or should I just not abandon all thoughts of doing it altogether?
Okay, I hear you, Farha. So what is the goal that you would like to achieve at the end of today's session?
The goal at the end of today's session is um, just to clear my doubts whether I should or should not proceed with incorporating training, coaching into my training.
Okay, so am I right to say that your goal is to make a decision whether to incorporate coaching into your training?
Yes,
Am I
yes,
right?
yes. That's correct.
And how do you know that you made the right decision?
Well, I would love for you to help me decide if I should mix coaching method into my training, and I would love for you to help me find clarity because I'm still kind of like blur and hazy at this point in time.
Okay, so finding clarity as well as to make a decision. So going back just now,
Yes,
Farha, you mentioned that you are dying to try out, and you said dying is exciting and scary.
yes,
So what makes
yes.
it exciting for you?
Exciting because it's something new, and I love trying out new things. Scary because it's new, so it's
Okay,
scary as
it's
well.
new. Understand? Yeah, I hear you there. Right. And what have you tried out so far? Have you incorporated any form of coaching into your training?
What I love about coaching is that it has made me more aware and it has helped me to be more present and just being engaged and being there for my learners, right? I think what I have already done is I've practiced being totally present. The rest
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you are already embodying, that coaching persona
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing your training. Yeah. So
Oh,
can I
thank you.
understand a little bit more, Farha? When you say
Mm-hmm.
incorporate coaching, do you mean incorporating the content or the methodology into your training, the delivery?
Oh, wow. Now that you mention it, content or the delivery or the method. What I learned about coaching was this is something very interesting, right? It was about reframing. It was about moving from below the line to above the line. I would love to try that because I noticed that some of my learners they tend to be very nervous, and when I learned below the line to above the line during coaching, I could feel that it helped me. With my overcome my shyness, if you may. So I would love to
Mm-hmm.
incorporate below the line and above the line in my training sessions. Yeah, I think it's method.
Okay, so it is the method.
Mm,
And just now you already mentioned the benefit to your learners that they will not be so shy. What other
mm.
benefits do you see if you incorporate the coaching method?
Another method could be apart from that. I hope that they will be more aware. I hope they will be able to listen to themselves and kind of like help them to reprogram their thoughts, if you may. It's in a way to get them to reaffirm and be more positive. Yeah, because that
Mm.
is how below the line and above the line has helped me. And I strongly believe that it would do the same for my learners as well.
Right. So it is not just knowledge that they're gaining, but also in changing their behavior. Am I right?
Oh
Changing their
yes,
person. Hmm.
yes.
Okay. And so these are the benefits. And what do you hope to achieve at the end by incorporating the coaching method into training?
At the end, I would hope for them to be more confident, um, more more reflective, if you may, and just more accountable. Because I noticed that some of them also have some sort of doubts. It's like sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
could sense that they wonder if they could really apply what they've learned at their workplace and into an actual real life situations. So I think it would do wonders for their self confidence. Yeah.
Wow. Mhm. Wow, I think you're such an intuitive and also a caring trainer as well. Now, if we can explore a little bit about not incorporating, because you are making a decision on this, but what would be the
Mm.
benefit if you do not incorporate the coaching method?
Oh wow, that is. Oh wow, that is a very powerful question, Coach. If I don't incorporate, right? I think number one, I would lose out. I would lose out in the sense that I would not be practicing. I will not be applying my coaching, my coaching. What do you call that? The things that I've learned in coaching. Number two, um, my learners would also lose out because they would only learn um, the content of the training. They would not learn something extra. So I would love for them to have something more value added, like a major
Mhm.
key takeaway, apart from just the achieving the learning outcomes. Hey,
Right.
thanks, coach. Huh.
Would you like to share like what is clearer for you now, Farha?
Oh wow. Um, when you ask me that question, right? There's this like this aha moment, and that made me realize that um, for the transfer of learning to really be effective, for learning to be meaningful, for them to truly appreciate and come out of their shell, um, they need to acquire, they need to be coached as well. And I need to be there for them and help them realize their potential. And at the same time, I have to remember that as a coach, I'm there to help them realize. I'm not there to instruct. I'm there to create awareness. And hopefully,
Mhm.
once we have, or I have incorporated coaching, they would have aha moments of their own as well. Oh my goodness, Coach Nancy, thank you so much. That was like a huge aha moment for me. Oh my
So have you
goodness.
have you come to a decision, Farha?
Oh my God, yes. You
And
know
what
what? You
is
made it
that?
so easy. Uh, just in corporate coaching, it's scary, it's exciting, but now on a scale of 1 to 10, right? Exciting is like 11, scary, it's like 3 maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I'm
Mm.
more willing to give it a go. Yeah, thanks.
Right. So 11 is actually off the chart already from 10, right?
Yeah, yeah. No,
Okay,
I'm
let's.
dying exciting too. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so remember that word, dying exciting. So how
Oh
committed
yeah.
are you, Farha, in carrying this out?
You know what? I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight because I actually have a training session tomorrow at 8:30, and yeah, I'd probably be thinking of what to incorporate tonight as well. Yeah.
Oh,
So on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like 11. I'm gonna do it tomorrow, first thing in the morning. Yeah.
okay, I like the positive attitude that you have. So what
Mm-hmm.
exactly will you be doing tomorrow morning?
Well, tomorrow morning, just before the training, get the exercises, and have a powerful and fun ice breaking activity. Get to know them and kind of like, oh my goodness, you just gave me an idea. I want to turn below the line, above the line into an ice breaking activity. Kind of like have these strips of paper. Yeah, seriously, like Coach Nancy, no, I cannot sleep. I have this, strips of paper, kind of like mix and match or something along the line. So yeah, I can use that.
Wow, wow.
See, now I cannot sleep. Now I cannot sleep. I don't need coffee anymore.
Oh, you're such a creative trainer. I can see that. And yeah, Farha, you mentioned just now that it's a bit scary. Now, how are you going to overcome that if that feeling of scary comes in?
I'm just going to bite the bullet, throw caution to the wind. I mean, the only person who's aware of my being scared is myself, right? I don't think my learners will know because, I mean, it's our first day together. It's gonna be. I'm just gonna wing it. They won't know. I'm only the one. I'm the only one who knows what's going on. So yeah,
Right.
they really won't know. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. But what will you tell yourself if just say that feeling of nervous comes scary?
Go girl, bite the bullet. Yep.
Okay,
Just go.
go girl. Okay, bite the bullet. Right. So Farha, can you just summarize like what you have take away from today's session?
Oh my God, yes. From dying scary to dying exciting. It's a way to go. Definitely, totally, and I'm going to incorporate below the line, above the line in the form of ice breaking activity to kind of like also gauge their level of readiness, and at the same time to enable me to somewhat have a better idea of how I could approach them and make learning more meaningful, and to ensure that transfer of knowledge will be taking place. And in conclusion, just do it. Just do it, and then reflect and definitely share with you about what went well. Thank you, Coach Nancy. Thank you. It's oh my God, I don't know why I was so scared and doubtful in the first place.
Thanks to you as well, Farha. I learned from you. Are we good to
Now,
close the session?
that's a very interesting. So, do you? Is it? Sorry, have I jumped in too early? Is that a
No,
closing that's happened?
It's good to have you back, Brian.
Hey
Now that was a
Brian, wait, yeah.
fascinating conversation. I mean, it was just for me, it was just quite an interesting thing to see something live. But I think what would be really good is I was actually mentally remembering what you actually your slide which you shared earlier. And I just want to put that back on again just to recap. And you actually went through all of that. You used those keywords. Maybe you can summarize yourself, Nancy. The session before we open this webinar to questions.
Yeah. So as we say, that this model actually helps us to have a focused conversation. That's why we say the word, disruptive coaching. So disruptive here doesn't mean like it is chaotic, but rather that the coaching conversation can be fast, it can be sharp, it can be tight, and you can end strong. So for me is I already have got this model in my mind, but even if you don't, it is okay. Like connect and contract can go together. Sometimes clarify and challenge can go together. So it is not like so rigid as well. The two milestones that are beside each other, they can go together. So then you have only like 5 milestones, to remember.
And so
Is that
Nancy,
helpful for
this
you?
is the corporate coaching academy methodology, correct?
That's right, Brian.
So this is really interesting. So to the audience out there who are watching us on various platforms, send a message, and if we see a message and ask a question, we're going to open the Q&A session. We will bring you and incorporate you into our show. So If without further ado, if some of you would like to ask questions, please send us a message on our social media. Now, for a start, we have, though, however, from Johor, I believe, Eileen. Elaine, hi.
Hi, Eileen.
You're on mute.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Brian, Farha, and Nancy. Hi.
Now, can you identify yourself, where you're from, what you do, and your question for Nancy and Farha, please?
Okay, I'm from Johor. I'm an educator working in Johor Bahru. And today's topic will be I need support from the coach to help me to find the coaching niche for myself.
Okay, Nancy, I think that question is directed at you.
Okay, thanks, Eileen, for your question. Wow, it's so great to hear, that you want to find your coaching niche.
Yes.
So what is your greatest area of passion, Eileen? You said that you're an educator.
I like to solve problem. I like to communicate with many levels of people. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I love to communicate with many people.
Right. So, and coaching is that, right? Communicating with people. And
Yes.
in what particular subject do you like to communicate with people?
Actually, I have no idea. Maybe related to leadership training,
Mm-hmm.
and also maybe topics related to parenting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
And as parents, they need to be leaders as well, right? So it is also
Yes.
connected.
Yes, to make a student success, we need parent support as well.
Right.
Yeah, and the school academic team.
So I'm sure you have been thinking about this coaching niche for a while. So what is your heart actually telling you? Like what fits into your personality and also your passion?
I want to. One word can describe solve. I want to solve that problem. I want to solve the leader's problem. I want to solve parents' problem,
Mm-mm.
and maybe students.
Right. Farha, would you like to jump in as well if you have a question for Eileen?
Right, that's very interesting. Once upon a time, I used to want to solve problems as well. I didn't realize that by my wanting to solve problems, in a way, I became the enabler of the problem. I thought that I was the rescuer, if you may. I kind of like swoop down because I think it's instinctively, as a mother, as an educator, right? We want to take care of everyone, right? We want to make sure that everybody is well taken care of. That is what I have been doing. But pardon me, may I share, Nancy, about my personal thingy?
Yes, I guess
About
so.
my about
Brian, is that all right?
Yeah,
right.
go ahead, please. Please,
Yeah.
anything that
Okay.
is relevant.
All right. So what happened to me? What actually prompted me to get into coaching was that I had a lot of baggage. Thank you very much, Eileen. I wanted to rescue. I wanted to help solve problems, right? And when I took up coaching, one of the things that really woke me up was that when we do coaching, we tend to ask all the WH questions except for why, right? And I realized when there is no why in the questioning, there is no hiding back. That there is no hiding behind the facade. And coaching has somewhat forced me to face my fears, and it really woke me up, and so much to the point that I realized, pardon me for saying this, I realized that I had been in a very toxic marriage. And after 25 years, wake up call, I decided, thank you very much. Well, no, not Nancy, okay? I realized that I needed to get out of the marriage. And it's been 2 years and I'm happy. Maybe not sorry. And it made me braver. It made me realize I would be so brave and courageous. And that's what coaching does. You face your fears. You are accountable for who and what you are, and it forces you to think in ways that you never realized that you could. So that's what blew me away about coaching. Thanks.
Thanks,
My 2 cents
Farha,
worth.
for being so.
Thank you very much for sharing.
For being so
Thanks.
vulnerable. And coming back to you, Eileen, if I may, you already have the answers actually that you want to solve problems for leaders and parents. Am I right?
Yes, but I still unsure how to. I'm still not sure whether I'm choose the right coaching niche or not.
Right. And what
Yes.
makes you doubt that?
Maybe I'm lacking of confidence,
Mm-mm.
or maybe I'm lacking of confidence and motivations to do it.
Can I just put a 5 cents worth into this conversation? And Eileen, here's the interesting thing. Sometimes that, and in his business, right? And I'm just looking at this as a business problem. If you don't try, you don't know.
Yeah.
So you find your niche by trying different niches. So whichever you think your hypothesis is, okay, I think I'm good at this. Maybe I try first. And then it may be the right one. But then when you try it, maybe it's not quite the right one, but you may try other niches and find it. So perhaps that is also the process of discovery. Just not a coaching type answer for you, but more of a business answer.
From business view, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pardon me for
very good,
interjecting.
Brian.
Yeah, I agree with what Brian has said as well, and through coaching as well, right? When I went through coaching, I realized that not only has it helped me personally, professionally, and all this while I thought that I had zero knowledge about business, it really opened my eyes, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you, Brian. You're absolutely right. Coaching can be used for to actually give you better clarity on business strategies and finding your niche. I agree with you. Yep. Go, Eileen, go.
Yeah. Just try. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
probably
do
who
it.
support. Yeah.
Yes.
Probably who support
We're behind you,
need,
girl.
Eileen. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Support.
Yeah.
So I think I have to learn more from CCA Academy, and also to know the techniques to start the coaching career. And this is very important first move for me to proceed
Mm.
in the future.
That's so encouraging to hear, Eileen.
Because
I always
because without the skill, because of without the skills from someone expert like Nancy or Dr. Michael, I can't make it. I need someone to mentor me, to guide me throughout the journey.
right.
Being the
And I think-
coach, being a coach is not an easy journey. No, at all. We have to keep learning, keep communicate, to learn, keep learning from each other.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we need to belong to a community to support each other.
Yes.
Eileen, thank you very much for asking the question. Has this been answered for you by Nancy and Farha?
Yes. I motivated by them. And thank you, Farha and Coach Nancy. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thanks,
for coming
Eileen.
on and asking the question, Eileen.
Yeah, because of one thing, one powerful questions from Nancy was when she asked me about any support to make it happen. So it really empowered me to think more. And also Farha, thanks for your sharing. And also Brian, thanks. You told me just do it.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you,
Do it.
Steffi.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
On that note,
Yes.
thank you very much, Elaine. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, take care, Eileen.
Now, that was an interesting conversation. She wanted some clarity. She, I think, went out, thanks to both of you in particular, just very motivated. We have another question that's come up, and somebody that's waiting to ask, and her name is Steph. Let's get Steph on. Steph, hello, how are you?
Hi everyone, good evening. How are you?
Hello,
Good,
Steph.
thank you. Steph, can you just introduce yourself and give us an overview of your background?
Hi, I'm Stephanie from KL. I'm currently pursuing my professional coaching certificate with Corporate Coach Academy. So,
Okay, fantastic. Could you then, what is the question that you'd like to direct to Nancy and Farha?
As a student myself, I'm only exposed to the 3-stage model. So hence I'm curious, how does the 3-stage model differs from the conventional coaching practices approaches out there? That's my question for Nancy.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, so actually the 3-stage coaching model is also built on an old model, which is called the GROW model. I think some of you may have heard about it. So the GROW model actually was created by Sir John Whitmore, I think somewhere in the 1970s. And the 3-stage model actually expanded on it and it went deeper. Because what Dr. Michael here found is that the GROW model was more on performance coaching, but we also want developmental coaching that is going into the intrinsic of the person. That's how the 3-stage model came about. And previously, coaching used to be more of a cozy conversation where the coach is very polite. But here, with the 3-stage model, we want it to be more of a disruptive coaching. So as I mentioned earlier, disruptive means now people, they do not have the time, especially even like leaders. You probably will be speaking to your staff like 5-10 minutes, perhaps, just over the water cooler, and you must be able to have that conversation in a very short period of time. So this is where the 3-stage model will help you in that. Does that answer your question, Steph?
Yes. It reaffirms what I think the answer would be, because as a student myself, I enjoy the well-organized structure, and it really does help us as a student coach to facilitate the thought process of the coachee, because by asking the right question, we help them to hear themselves, how they rationalize their own existing belief that is not serving them. So to me, that asking the right question with a guide, it helps them to reveal to themselves what is blocking them, but actually they already know what they need to do. So I really enjoy this 3-stage model, which is easy to remember and very structured to follow. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Steph. So you are using the model already?
Yes, I am. And I love to be disruptive.
May I add on my 2 cents worth?
Yes.
Yeah. Another thing about coaching that I love, especially the 10 milestones, right? Early on, I did say that there's no hiding behind anything anymore. By going through all the 10 C's, if you may, you are somewhat forced to acknowledge your fears or your demons, if you may. And I love what Nancy has said earlier on. Being a coach is like asking nice questions, putting on like kiddie gloves. But when you actually ask the 10 questions, it's like you really know which button to push and which where the pain points are, and that is where you really, it's like a huge wake up call. Yeah, that is what I've discovered about the 10 C's and the the whole thing. Oh my God, yep, mind blowing. Thank you.
Now, Now, Steph, I want to ask you then, and this is a different question because you are obviously training to be certified as a coach. What has been your motivation? What's your background like, and what was your motivation for getting certified as a coach from Corporate Coach Academy?
What's my motivation? Basically, I'm always very curious about my own self-awareness. I always like to ask the why question, be it to myself or to other people. I mean, why they do the things they do. What causes us to think like that, right? So by identifying the root cause, you are able to address the cause rather than the symptoms of the behavior. So that actually motivated me to pursue it for my own personal skill, as well as to help those around me, be it at work or in my personal life, because I find that I have many peers, friends who like to confide in me, but I just looking for a better way, to help them to help themselves, rather than I'm telling you what to do, but in the end you don't do it because it's coming from me, right?
Okay.
So I just want a more sustainable results for them when they approach me. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
what
fantastic.
motivated me. Yeah.
Steph, thank you very much for answering, for asking the question and for answering our questions as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think we're running out of time shortly, but those were two excellent guests that we had in terms of the Q&A session. Nancy, before we leave now, it's been a fascinating conversation and looking back at the three-stage model. Do both of you have any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with? Let's start with Farha first.
Oh, take up coaching. It'll make you more self-aware, right? It will give you courage. That's, I don't know, it's mind-blowing for me. It's indescribable, but it has opened a lot of doors, and it has made me realize that I am capable of many things. And to quote Nancy, it's about going beyond your self-limiting belief. It just broke the barriers. Yep.
Thanks, Farha. Nancy, final thoughts from you.
Okay, Brian. Yeah, I just want to leave the listeners with this one favorite quote of mine that is in line with coaching. So it says, go as far as your eyes can see. And when you get there, you will see further. So it's by Thomas Carlyle, I think. Yeah. So it is go as far as your eyes can see. So as a coach, it is not the coach eyes, it is the coach's eyes. And that they'll be able to see. It's not just seeing visually. Some of them may be able to see mentally, the self-awareness. Yeah. And everyone has their own pace, and every coachee is unique. So go as far as your eyes can see, and when you get there, you will be able to see further, and you can keep on elevating yourself.
Wow, that's something that's a key takeaway from me. Go as far as your eyes can see, and then get to the next stage, and then you can see even further. On that note, ladies, Thank you very much for taking your time to be on the show.
Thank you, Brian. It's a pleasure to be
Thank
here.
you, Brian. Yeah.
Now, we've been speaking to Nancy Lee, mentor coach and facilitator at Corporate Coach Academy, as well as Farha Uzaimi, lead trainer. And this has been AHA, the coaching show. I'm Brian Fernandez, and you've been watching and listening to us on BizTech's AHA, the coaching show. This interview will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.